Alright guys, today's video is going to be on a brand new game called Digimon Source Code. Now this is a Digimon game that was only released in China in I think April earlier this year. So it's a fairly new game. There's no global version yet. However, if you do actually want to play in English, you can actually download it from X7 Game and then play it with an English patch, which I'll show you in a bit how to do that. To actually install the game, if you're interested, basically I'll share this link in the video description below. You can go onto it, you can download the app from here. It won't be the game app itself, it will be actually for X7 Game, so the platform which hosts it, which is like a Chinese version of Google Play. Now, once you have downloaded and open up the app, you can then search for whatever game you actually want to play. The one I will be showing us today is going to be Digimon Source Code. You then click on there, you would install it by clicking this button here. I already downloaded it, that's kind of why it says open. You can watch the game trailer as well if you're interested, but obviously I'll show you guys the actual gameplay today. Now, after you do all of this, you're free to just start playing straight away. Something I do recommend you guys do though, however, it's actually set up an X7 game account first. That's just so that if you do actually end up playing multiple games from this platform, you don't need to create a separate account for each game. You can just log in via the same X7 game platform. And the way you actually create an account here is simply go to this tab called Me, then you click on this button, you actually want to sign in. And then when you actually sign in, you don't actually need to log in with Gmail or anything like that. Any email is fine, and then click Get Code. It will send that code to the email you use, so you don't even need to create a separate account. You can just use the same email that you always use and just log in via code instead. Okay, now let me just hop on the game to show you quickly what this game is all about. Now, the number one thing you actually want to do as soon as you log onto the game is actually that you want to change the language from Chinese to English. Now, as I said, this game right now is only available in China, so if you first open up the game, everything's going to be in Chinese. However, you can see some English text on my screen right now, and that's because I'm using X7 Games built-in translation system. So that's kind of why the reason I recommend you guys to download it from this platform. So if you actually go onto, so basically if you actually go onto the game, there should be one button which is kind of like hovering around, which is not actually part of the game. So if you actually click on that, you bring up all of the different utility functions X7 Game offer. So for example, you can even speed up the game if you actually want to, make it go faster. You can also do like auto click, etc. if you want. But the main one we're going to do is actually going to be translation. If you click on translation, there are two tabs. One is basically just translating whatever you select, but the one that is actually going to be really, really nice is actually the English patch. And there are actually other languages as well if you do actually want to change it to other language. I'm just going to select English, and what's going to do is it's going to translate every single text in this game to English. Now, it's only going to translate the text. It won't be able to translate, for example, any words inside the picture. So for example, you can see here, some of the icons or some of the events here, they just show a banner, which obviously is in the form of a picture. So you're not able to actually translate the text there because the game doesn't read it as a text, right? However, which for anything else, which is actually like words, etc., which is actually written, then it's actually able to translate in English. So for example, here you can see the storyline, everything's in English. If I go into, like, for example, the very different missions or the events, you can see the actual text or the description of those missions or events. They're also in English. If I go to the actual Digimon page and show you, actually no, maybe I should go to the gallery page instead. If I go to the gallery, if I just pick any one of those characters, you can see all of the description for that character is all displayed in English now as well, which is very, very nice. So that's how you can play this game, which right now is China only, but still get that English, well, I guess native playing experience, because you can actually patch everything up in English instead. Okay. Now, in terms of what you can actually do in this game, so this game, I guess it kind of is a blend of Digimon World and Digimon Story, if you guys have played those before. So basically, you are kind of raising your Digimons and then basically making them stronger, evolutions, etc. Now, you are able to set, I think, a team. I'm only able to unlock 5 slots right now, so I think maybe that's the maximum number of Digimon you can bring at a single time. Every single one of them obviously does have different unique skills, etc. So if I, for example, go to my Greymon, I can then actually take a look at the very different skills. I think, let me try to figure out where is it. Yeah, so if I go here, I can just see the very different stats and then also the skills they have. And obviously you can actually read up onto it. So you know exactly what's the best skill to use. I will show you the actual combat system itself later. But obviously, as we all know, if you are into Digimon, you probably one of the features that you're looking for the most is actually going to be evolution, and I'll just show you guys here. You are able to evolve a Digimon both inside the combat itself, but also outside. If it's outside, it's going to be like a permanent form, but if it's actually inside, what's going to happen is, just kind of like in the original series, right? It will digivolve doing combat, and then afterwards it will downgrade back to whichever permanent phase it was in previously. So for example here, if I pick Garurumon, actually maybe let's pick War Greymon and try to get into Metal Greymon. So evolutions here, for example here, I'm gonna click on evolution, and then you can see you get all of those nice animation of digivolving, which is I think is fairly true to the original anime. You can see all of the text in the background as well, right? So that's quite nice. And the other thing, like, yeah, you can see here as well, right? Just like in Digimon Stories, etc., there are actually different evolution paths. So you can actually choose the way you want to go. And the evolution path is actually quite nice. Like, there's a load of different variety of characters or Digimon that you're able to actually evolve to. So you can follow whichever path you want. And then there's even going to be fusion as well, right? You can actually fusion those two into Omnimon. So that's another very cool thing you can also do here. So that's kind of the, I guess, the Digimon system. In terms of the other things, obviously there are a bunch of different events which are going on right now, right? Some of them are going to be beginner event because this is a brand new account I just hopped on. There is also going to be Digi-Egg. Let me try to find where's my Digi-Egg. Not sure where I can find it, but basically there is going to be Digi-Egg as well. I haven't unlocked the Digi-Egg system, but I saw I got a Digi-Egg in my bag, but maybe not. What else are there? The outside world, when you move around, it's kind of like a board game format, and but it's more like a dungeon crawling in the sense that before previously all of them were like hidden in the fog, and then you'll be moving around trying to navigate your way to find this eventually like the enemy state that you need to fight. But on the way there are also going to be chests, some berries that you can pick up on the way, so there's a bit of like a dungeon crawling to some aspect. But then wherever you see an enemy stage, the idea is that you actually click on this and then actually go into combat, and that will allow you to progress then to the next stage, etc. Okay, now let me show you the actual in-game combat system. So it's kind of like a turn-based RPG in the sense that you have a team of multiple Digimon, and obviously there are different enemies as well. Each of your characters have different skills, which have different effect. You then choose which enemy you want to actually attack. There is a bit of rock, paper, scissors relationship as well. So some of your attacks are going to be more countering the enemy. Some of them will actually be resisted, etc. So there's a tiny bit of strategy from that perspective. But at the end of the day, it's kind of a standard combat system with any kind of turn-based RPG. There is a bit of animation with all of your attacks, which is actually quite nice. I do feel like the animation in this game is pretty clean, I have to say. It's all 3D animation as well, which is quite nice. But yeah, that's kind of the bulk of the combat system itself. Now, what you well, let me just go into the end of the combat. Oh, you can also put an auto, by the way, so you don't have to play everything manually if you don't want to, and you can obviously also skip over the cutscene if you want to. Let me just show you the very end of this combat, because then there is something else I also want to show you guys. Now you can actually digivolve in the middle of the combat as well. So you can see here, I evolve it to Garurumon, Gabumon to Garurumon, and then you can use other attacks instead. This is a combo attack. Once again, it has animation for all of this. Part of the intro animation actually have that combo attack and also digivolve into Omnimon, which is quite nice. I'm just trying to see what this actually show you. But basically, yeah, so at the end of the combat, what you can do is you can actually scan the enemy. So it's kind of then turning into a bit like almost like Pokemon catch them all. Right now I'm still in the early stage, so it seems like whenever I beat it, I am able to actually scan it fully. But I do imagine towards later on, probably you actually need to beat the same type of Digimon multiple times in order to actually acquire them or like catch them and add it to your collection. And lastly, let me finish off this video with just kind of quick flick through of all of the Digimon you can actually obtain. So I'm only going to show you at the highest level, right? So you can see there are some of the Royal Knights, there are the 3 Archangels, there are also going to be some of the villains from the original series, right? You have the 4 evil masters like Puppetmon, Piermon, etc., Myotismon. There's the 7 Deadly Sins. I guess that's what that group is called. So you have Lilithmon here as well, and I think she's like the main villain for this series, because she was kind of in the intro storyline. So yeah, so those are all of the characters that you can actually get in this game, which, as you can see, there's actually quite a lot. You can definitely pick your favorite evolution paths and try to essentially collect them all, I guess. So yeah, if you're interested in this game, then do give this game a try. I'll share that link in the video comment section, so you can just click on it and download it from there.